One POV. Ting made me eat food with his hands. I told him I can feed myself and I'm fine now, but he being stubborn, so I just gave up and let him do whatever he wants to. After midnight dinner, or I say my early breakfast, I came back to my room. Ting still have to do some work, so he said he would come after finishing it. Lying on bed yesterday, incidents started flashing in my mind like a movie. I tried best to divert my attention when I felt tears in my eyes. Taking a deep sigh, I started thinking about Tang instead. Is he really my husband now? What's gonna happen now? Is he still gonna act cold and rude like he always does in office? My unconscious brain said, what kind of rubbish are you thinking? Stop overthinking and think about what happened a few minutes ago. I trailed my fingers on my lips where he kissed a few minutes ago. My eyes widened, realizing what happened. He kissed me twice and also made me sit on his lap. Most importantly, flashback. From part 1. Don't leave me, Dang. Please. I won't. I never do that, Ryan. Just don't think anything about him. I'm right beside you, baby. And I will never leave you, no matter what happened, okay? I'm yours. Only yours. Flashback ends. I felt my cheeks start burning with that unknown sensation rushing in my body. He said, I'm only yours. I mumbled with blushing cheeks. Does it mean he likes me? How is it even possible? My subconsciousness said to me. So is he pitying me? Tears again start brimming in my eyes. What if he just sympathized me after all? He now likes me before. I chuckled sadly. So it means he just pitied me. I abruptly wiped my cheeks when door opened and closed my eyes when Ting came in room. Thank baby. I came back in room and a sense of satisfaction rushed in my body. To see her in my room, I went towards her side and bent down to her level. I tucked a hair behind her ear to see her beautiful face, which was a disruption to see her beauty earlier because of dim lights in room. And the sight clenched my heart. My cheeks were stained with dry tears. I gently wiped her cheeks with my thumb. I moved to her ear and whispered. One baby, I went to sleep when Tang came in room, but a shiver went down my spine to feel his hands gently grazing my cheeks, and his next words make me hitch my breath. Open your eyes, princess. I know you're not sleeping, he whispered in my ear. Do I just got caught red-handed? With a heavy sigh, I slowly opened my eyes only to see him closer to me. May I ask, why were you crying earlier? He spoke gently. I bit my lower lip, not knowing what to reply. I just shattering. I just missing my parents. I lied because I don't know what they had to say to him. When I don't know what make you cry, but I don't want to see tears in your eyes again. I felt my stomach twisted on his words, with his hand still caressing my cheeks gently. Tim, do I ask you something? Is it even a question? You can ask me anything you want. He smiled, and I felt myself melted on sight. Why you marry me? There was a pin drop silence in the room for a few seconds before he spoke. Because I like you from a long time, and that's the reason I agreed to marry you, he said in one breath. I don't want to lie to you when I was the one who kidnapped you, so he don't marry you. He mumbled his last words underneath his breath, which Wan didn't hear because of his inaudible voice. What? Wan almost yelled, blinking her eyes with unreadable expressions on her face. For a moment, Ting thought you heard his all words clearly and he lost you before even having you in his life. Let me explain, Wan. Please hear me carefully. I fell for you from a while ago. He shuddered. First, I just shrugged it out, but later, when I realized my feelings for you, I was too stubborn to admit, and my ego got over me. I tried my best to let go of feelings for you, but I failed badly. And when I heard you were getting married, I was heartbroken. And I said yes, because I don't want to see you get humiliation in my presence. And not forget to mention, I was so happy to finally getting married with the love of my life. He said everything in one breath with lightly glossy eyes. But he was feeling he let go of a heavy weight from his heart, and a part of his heart was saying he lost you already. But Wayne's next move made his eyes widened. Wayne pulled him as their lips connected in a passionate kiss. It took a few seconds for Tay to process what is actually happening. It was something he never imagined, and he started kissing her back. The lips moved and signing in euphoric feeling. Breathing heavily, they pulled apart. After a deep 5 minutes, he touched his forehead with her, smiling ear to ear. Thanks to marry me, Dangshi. That's the only word escaped from our lips, and his heart skipped a beat to hear his name from her lips. He was feeling like he got addicted to her voice, her lips, her presence around him. Everything about her was making him more fallen for her. Cupping her cheeks, gently grazing her face, he said, I don't have right words to say at this moment when I know our marriage didn't happen in right circumstances, but I promise to love you and cherish you till death apart us. Most importantly, you are my wife now, and you are my responsibility, and I never like to share what belongs to me. When felt her ears burning and her whole face turns into dark red color. She was right. He's doing some magic on her, and his words hit her breath away. One was in cloud salmon, listening him. So you got your answers, Mrs. Kim? One was already blushing mess, and now she turned into a whole tomato and hid herself under covers. Things smirked. Is my wife blushing? He whispered near her ear. Why won't this one escape from her there now? But of course, there's no way to. She can. Don't tease me, please, she mumbles. Oh, princess, his dominance didn't want to hear his name from her lips, so he teased again. Thank you, please, she said in shy tone from under the woods as he giggled on her cuteness. Okay, Mrs. Kim, take a nap. You must be tired. I nodded her head and went to deep slumber. Ting also stared at her sleeping figure for a while, admiring her beauty, and eventually also drifted into dreamland after a while. Ting opened his eyes at 12 p.m. He remembered what he saw a few minutes ago. It was a dream. He chuckled sadly. I wish I could confess you in real, not in dream. I don't want to start my relationship on a lie. I really hope you don't leave me after knowing the truth. That you know didn't show up because I don't want that. And I wish I would tell you about his reality way earlier before you planned to marry him. Heavily sighing, he moved towards Wayne and started staring on Wayne's sleepy figure with admirable eyes. His eyes got stuck on her long neck. TPV. My eyes got stuck on her neck. I steer her nape. Her perfect, seductive nape is calling me to kiss me, bite me, lick me, nibble in my sensitive skin, left marks of her love on my body. How could I even resist her? Unconsciously, I leaned to her nape and started kissing, sucking, and biting on her sensitive skin. She shivered and whimpered in her sleep, but I was not in senses to let go now. I know she is asleep, and it's not right to do that, but I can't resist her now. And she belongs to me. I apart after a while. Her skin was red by now, and I knew it turns into a Soon I smirked to see my creation. I crafted her mine. And I don't care now, she's mine. She's only belongs to Kim Dang, he said and went to take bath. Skip went away. I woke up with no Dang beside me. Is he really don't like me? I don't even remember when I slept last night. Is he didn't came all night? Why are you worried so much? When it's not like he wants me in his life or we are happily married couple. Now it's confirmed. He just married me to save me from humiliation. Maybe he just wanna repay me hard work when all the time I worked for him. Anyways, well, let's get up and eat something. I'm so hungry. With that thought and a cute pout on her face, she got up and went towards the washroom. Wen was doing her morning routine with still sleepy, half-closed eyes, and that's when her eyes struck on her neck. Her eyes widened in shock to see the white purple mark on her neck. Is it a love bite? Wen rubbed her eyes and slowly trailed her fingers on as she groaned in slight sensation. But how could I go there? Tang was not there when I got up. Is it before? No. Then how? Stop thinking so much. It must be a statement from yesterday. When I got ready, my subconsciousness said as I sighed in relief, yeah, that must be straighten burn. How you thought something like that when? Felt a pinky tint on her cheeks, thinking if it could be real. Skip. After morning routine, Wen came downstairs and served her breakfast. One was habitual to do her own work, and now she was feeling embarrassed to let Ella do work for her. She insisted to do her work on self, but Mead said it's her job and she might get kicked out if she didn't do her job properly. So she just let her do her work as she'd done breakfast, which was more likely lunch because she had it at 2:10 p.m. After asking Mead, she came to know Tang is in office. For a moment, she thought, what if we don't call today after all? It's the first day after marriage, but then she just shrugged it out, thinking it was not arranged and he didn't even knew he gonna marry someone. So she spent the rest of the day watching Netflix, and finally it was evening, and after begging maid for hundredth of time, she let Wayne make dinner cause Wayne insists she's getting bored sitting alone doing nothing. She randomly talked with her while cooking and got ready too before Tang came. She didn't knew why she's doing all this, but a part of her was saying she's doing right. She's his wife now, and it's her responsibility. Ting came and Wen greeted her like a good wife. On the other hand, Ting was so happy. After all, that's what he wants forever in his life. He have imagined this scene with her many times, and finally, when it turns into reality, he was feeling like in cloud 7. They have dinner together, and Ting was so amazed by her cooking skills. Every new thing that he came to know about her was making him even more fall for her every moment. Everything was going well. They slowly started to get along with each other. They never forget to give butterflies on her stomach from mischievous lines to random kisses and back again when she was cooking. One was feeling an unknown feeling around him that she never felt before, not even with her ex-fiancé. One was opening herself with Tang, and he was accepting her as she is, making her flatter more for him. Tang sometimes tried to confess his stuff, but he was afraid she will leave him after knowing all truth, and that's what's stopping him to tell her. 1 p.m. Standing in front of mirror, a whimper left from my mouth, raising my neck, covered with that they gave me yesterday, some old with light color and many new with dark color. In short, my whole neck is covered with his marks. I later found out the mark on my neck was actually given to me by my husband, and he loves to graft his creatures on my neck. He has some kind of obsession with making me his. I never knew my rude boss would be this romantic too, and I was the one to see his side. I don't know if marrying with him was good decision or not, but we're getting along with each other very well. It's been more than a week till we got married, but it still feels like it just happened yesterday. I know Dave was trying hard to forgive me that incident with his love and affection, and that's yesterday incident came in my mind. Flashback. Let's go when I want cuddles. I have to do dishes. Come on, baby, and it's not your work to do. Let's go. I winced like a toddler. Wen just ignored him and kept doing what she was doing earlier, silently. But his next step made her eyes whiten. He pulled her towards him and licked her nape, knowing very well her sensitive spot. As a long left her mouth, she closed her eyes, feeling the pleasure rushing her body. They don't do it, mates are around, please, smirks. But you said you don't want to go in room, smirking as he achieved what he wants. No, please, not here, let's go. She didn't even complete her sentence when she felt he picked her in his arms. One gasped. Think, what are you doing? Put me down. Sorry, Mrs. Kim, I'm not listening to you anymore. I was so lost in my thoughts when someone banged room harshly. Startling me, I quickly went to open door. I opened door and there was standing a maid indoor, panicking. What happened? Is everything alright? Is staying okay? What are you done? Ma'am, sir is fine, but it's his mother. Mrs. Kim is downstairs and she's creating chaos because she want to meet you. Can you please come with me? It's about my job, ma'am. Unless I never ask you. Please calm down and tell me where is she. I will meet her. Don't worry. She instructed you. Where is Mrs. Kim as you went there? Wen's heart was pounding so fast with all unknown thoughts. Why she wanna meet her? One went to the living room where Mrs. Kim was yelling, and with a heavy heart she called her name. Yes, Mrs. Kim, shattering hard. She came towards you with her heels making noise on floor. Standing in front of you, she stared you with piercing eyes, sending daggers in your body. The next step was something Wen never imagined. She slapped on her face. Wen felt a burning sensation on her cheeks as tears started dripping from her eyes. Look who's here, everyone pointed towards me. It's so finally you got it, what you want. You just want to get in of my son. You. She was about to slap again as Wen closed her eyes, but Wen didn't feel pain as a manly hand took Mrs. Kim's arm and jerked her away. He looked towards Wen's face, which was dressed due to a tight slap, and her rosy cheeks stained with tears as he clenched his jaw before growling her mother. What the you think you're doing, Mom? He growled in his husky voice, making her flinch due to sudden outburst. His veins were popping out due to anger. Wen immediately opened her closed eyes only to see an angry Taeyang. Did you just say what am I doing? What do you think you're doing, Taeyang? Marrying with them? Just give her divorce already. I can't accept a girl like her in my family, which don't have a status or name. She yelled back in same tone, but Taeyang gutted her off. Don't you to say even a single word about my wife. And let me remind you, she's my wife now and she belongs to me. And she's not going anywhere. Also, it doesn't matter to me if you accept her or not. I accept her already, so there is no need for you to accept her. Wan was just staring Taeyang with teary eyes, weren't able to process what do she have to do, feel happy or sad, and she decided what she have to do now. Taeyang, she mumbles with shattering voice, and that's when Taeyang realized she was also there whole time. immediately engulfed her shivering body in his warm embrace. Tears continuously dripping from one's eyes. Never in his life someone humiliated this much to her. She was now herself regretting to marry Tang. Why don't I left the world too when you know didn't show up in reception? When mind was filled with all those negative thoughts, she pulled herself away from Tang's arms, who was trying hard to make her feel better. I want words, one blurted out without thinking twice, and Tang's heart shattered into a million pieces, listening her words. Never in his life he thought he would be this weak in front of anyone. What? What do you say? Not believing his ears, he asked again, thinking it might be just a bad dream. I know you just married me to save me from humiliation. There is no feelings between us, right? Let's let's just take it words. She was shivering hard, while tears were continuously brimming from her rosy cheeks. She don't know why she is crying. There is no feelings between them, so why her eyes are not stop shedding tears. She hardly wiped her tears, but her emotions was not on her side as her eyes started brimming with tears again. Sobbing. Ting didn't speak anything. What do we even say? He's in love with her and he don't want to see tears in her eyes at any cost. On the other hand, her mother was satisfied, not knowing her own son might gonna lose his life if Van was not with her son just because of her trauma. Why she have to suddenly pop up in their happy life out of nowhere when finally they both are getting along with each other? They were happy a few hours ago and now they were in most vulnerable state ever. I never think it's going to be end this early and like this. When I can't, I just can't do that. Please don't say the words to me, please. Now he was sobbing too. Never in his life he cried in front of anyone, and his mother clearly see him in this state too. One felt her heart clenched to see tears in his eyes. There was countless moments when he was there for her, when she needed him the most. They didn't spend much time together, but how much time they had spent was something she never forget. Ding blinked his eyes to stop his tears as he went toward his mother. If you don't want this girl in front of you to be the part of your family, then let me tell you, Mom, I also won't stay in the same family who won't accept my wife. He spit each word clearly and sending daggers to her. One was just staring at them blankly, without uttering any word. Dang, you have lost your senses. You're clearly not in your right state of mind. Is she dumb and kind of magic on you? She can try to came near one, but Dang came in between and stopped her immediately. My decision is final. If you don't want to accept her, I will leave everything right now. But before that, you may leave from here, or else you know very well I won't hesitate to do it. Dang, why? Just because of this girl, you wanna leave your family? Don't forget, dang, you're higher of our family. That's why I'm telling you to leave from here. She was furious, but left from there after a while. Why? I want to ask you the same question. When? Why? There is no feeling between us, so there is no need for you to leave everything for me. You meant the world to me, and if you're right beside me, I can build thousands of empires like this. I'm going to live, and it doesn't matter to me as long as we're together. He was so close to Anne that their body was almost touching each other. Their bodies filled with unknown heat. Think you don't need to do that. Please stay. Please don't leave your parents, she said with trembling lips. Wayne don't want him to leave his parents or anything for her, and if it cost her their divorce, she was ready to do it. But only thinking of getting divorced was making her nauseous. Her heart don't want to do it too, but her brain was still working to not take over her heart. One tried hard to not let him leave his family, but he was consistent. But the only thing they didn't knew was someone else was also secretly listening their conversation. It was not even arranged. Neither we have feelings for each other. So why we need to stay with each other? You just marry me to save me and my family from humiliation. It's already over now. We don't need to continue this relation anymore. You can live your life like before, and me too. She bit her lower lip to suppress her shiverness and shattering words. But now Tang was not in his right mind. He pulled her insanely closer to him, their faces just inches apart, with lips almost brushing each other. What did you just say? I just marry you to protect you from humiliation, he growled, making her flinch, while his hand tightened her arm tightly, holding her closer. I am in love with you, you damn, he yelled, but you can't see it. You're worried about everyone except me, he chuckles sadly. Is it what you think about me until now? And there was me who was just thinking more protect you, save you, love you, have family with you. But you, he scoffs. One was silently shedding tears. No, Mrs. Kim Tang, I can't love you. You only belongs to me, Ryan. You're mine, only mine. Mine to ruin, mine to love, just mine to cherish. And if I have to cage you to make you stay with me, I can do that too.